For Palestinians, the Gaza ceasefire agreement brings hopes of reprieve after 15 months of devastating war. Palestinian health officials say more than 46,000 people have been killed. I spoke to Gaza journalist Shrouk Al-Ayla a short time ago.
It is a mix of feelings. It is such a heartbreak and relief at the same timing. Like it's been almost 15 months of waiting for this ceasefire, for this madness to stop. But, here, people, that moment of you crying and smiling at the same time, this is basically what is happening here. The situation is fragile and tense, and also a relief at the same time. That is because there is a sign that this genocide is going to stop very soon. And I have to clarify more that what happened today is such the announcement, but the implementation of the ceasefire will be on Sunday. So still we are under genocide. For 5 minutes, a massacre happened in the north of the Gaza Strip. The bombardment is not stopping yet. So yes, we are happy and terrified at the same time. I can tell that I'm super terrified because that last moments of being, that very last moments, hours, days. I believe that the Israeli army gonna hit back in these days. The targets will be more. They will try as much as they can to make it more devastating for us. So I can say that we have that sense of uncertainty plus happiness.
Yeah.
Most probably, there's also that feeling of the grief. Since the beginning of the genocide, thousands, and I can't doubt that it is just plus 1 million people are unable to express their feelings in a proper way, to get a decent, proper time for grief, as everything is just on hold. All feelings are on hold because it is not a suitable time, not a suitable place to grieve and break down during this genocide. We are living on the survival mode, just to survive your day. And when there is eventually that moment that you got it, that break to break down. So that's why I'm telling it is just a mix of feelings. I cannot actually explain what I'm feeling now exactly at this moment. I'm super happy with this genocide, but I'm also so afraid to face the reality and being, firstly accepting the reality.
Yeah, Shrouk, I wanted to ask you about your level of confidence in this ceasefire, because as you say, it begins on Sunday. It goes for 6 weeks, the first phase. How confident do you feel that it will endure for that 6 weeks and that the second phase and the third phase will follow from that?
I believe that this time it's gonna go as raw as it is stated, as they agreed on, because of the pressure that is just on Netanyahu and Hamas as well, that caused by the President Trump. It's just real, and we noticed this. It's been over 1 year under the presidency of Biden, and nothing happened on the ground to stop this. But by expecting the presidency of Trump, he's pushing back on and making it stop, and it really works out on the ground. So I believe that it's gonna go as they already agreed on. It feels like ages, and the two parties are just trying to write down the agreement in a way that satisfies the both parties. And I can tell, you never guarantee the occupation. Yeah, for sure. But because of the pressure on the Israeli government that caused by the American government, I believe this time it's gonna go for real.
Part of the deal stipulates that aid will be allowed to enter the Gaza Strip. What kind of aid do workers need to prioritise? What kind of help is most needed there?
most probably, plus 1 million of people are displaced now, and they already lost their homes. I'm one of them as well because I'm part of this society. Um, the I think the most priority calls for those, for those caravans that, temporarily for living, that is just better than of the makeshift tents, that with those tents that don't withstand the heat in summer or the cold in winter. So those caravans, there is a need for those caravans, like thousands of them. And until, the process of rebuilding Gaza, and so, it needs years to be rebuilt once again. So this is, I think, the most proper one for the displaced people. And secondly, and yeah, for sure, there is a need for the medical supplies, for medication as well, and for the evacuation for the patients and injuries. Um, you know, uh, like people are dying because of the lack of medical supplies, a shortage of the medicine as well. So and also there's also for sure there is a need for evacuating them because here the hospitals are partially functioning because of the destruction that happened to the hospital, the systematic destruction that happened to the hospitals because of the Israeli killing machine. So I can say that those are the most probably like to secure a living place for the displaced people and, you know, treating the injuries and the patients. Otherwise, in terms of food, in terms of let me say blankets and so because we are in winter, I believe it comes in the second place, but most probably just to save lives now.
Yeah, it sounds like there is so much help that's needed there. As you say, you're one of these displaced people. You're a journalist who's been covering this war for a long time. I know that your husband, Rushdie, was also killed in the war and that you've been hoping to visit his grave in the north of Gaza. Is that something that you're hopeful you might now be able to do?
I'm in the south. The cemetery that houses the grave of my husband is in the north, and once they declare the implementation of this ceasefire, there will be a week away of this implementation date. That for us as displaced people in the south to get back, return to the north. So I expect that I'm getting back to the north in 10 days, I think. Sure, the first thing I'm gonna do is just to go directly to the grave of my husband. But I've heard from one of my friends that this cemetery um, have been destroyed by the Israeli bulldozers. So nobody knows if there is still a grave of my husband or not. This is it is. I know he's gone, but that physical um, trace of him for me, for his family, friends, my daughter, just to believe that this is her father, this is the house of his father, of her father. So I don't know. Actually, I don't know exactly what are my feelings in this regard, but I really pray that there is a decent grave for my husband. Otherwise, it's gonna go crazy. Nobody can understand or cope with such, with such reality that he's gone and also his body's gone as well.
Well, Shook, I really hope that you do have an opportunity to visit his grave. Thank you so much for sharing both your professional and your personal story with us. It's been really good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
And just a clarification that Israel has strenuously denied allegations of genocide in Gaza. Those allegations are currently before the International Court of Justice.